Hi boys and girls. So today we're going to start doing the transferring process from your drawing onto your linoleum plate. So everybody's going to have either one of these, or if you're working with a pair, you'll have one of these. If there's a line on it, that's obviously the back. You can also erase it if you need to, and then that's the front. These are the designs that I came up with, so you can see that I filled the space that I have. Even though this looks like a really small plate, it actually can take a fairly big design. So try to fill up as much of the space as you can. Now, I think I'm gonna do this design because it's a little bit less intricate and it has a lot more elements going on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line up the plate like this, and I'm gonna flip it over, and then I'm gonna use the back of my Sharpie, and I'm gonna go over the design and try to cover the whole area so I can transfer the pencil over onto the plate. So you can see that the design is now transferred over to the plate. So the next step that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a washable marker and trace my design. That way, if for some reason it's too detailed, then I can always wash the marker off and like redraw what I'm gonna do. Okay, so now I have my whole design traced. Since I used the thick marker, that's the size of the line that I'm gonna do, so I didn't really need to redo any areas, which means now I'm gonna go over it with Sharpie. Okay, so in the next step, you need to load your cutting tool with whatever blade you're gonna use. I'm gonna start with my skinniest blade first, which is the number 1. If you don't have a number 1 that you can use, you could also use the number 2, which is this one here. And I'm gonna start with the number 1, and the way you do this is you unscrew the handle just so it's loose, otherwise the whole thing will come apart, so don't unscrew it too much. Just do it enough that it's loose so that you can fit the back in. When you're handling it, don't touch the end, just touch this area right here as you're putting it in. And you should see a separation where the two kind of like metal rings on the inside are. You're gonna put it in between that little dot in the center and that ring that's kind of loose. So it should be, I don't know if you can see it, in between those. So it shouldn't be on the outside of this, it should be up in the middle. Then once it's in place, just tighten it and turn it all the way until it's nice and tight, and that's ready to use. You're gonna hold it kind of like a pencil, and then put your other hand next to it or behind it. Don't put your hand in front of it. So I'm gonna start by carving out the edges. So now that I finished carving out my design, I'm just gonna check it by going over everything with Sharpie. So I'm only gonna go over the raised areas as much as I can possibly control it. Now I can see there may be some areas over here I just want to make sure I've cleaned out. So I'm going to change my cutter out